You know, if you've ever been on a stage, whether you're a musician or giving a presentation, you know that feeling, that monster lurking just out of sight. Stage fright. We're always told it's a mind game, right? A psychological battle you just have to power through. But what if that's not the whole story? Today, we're going to dig into a really radical idea that flips stage fright on its head, suggesting it's not a mental block at all, but a physical problem, with a physical solution.
Oh, we all know this list intimately, don't we? Your heart starts pounding like a drum solo, your hands start to shake, maybe you feel a little sick to your stomach. And your brain? The one that was so sharp just a minute ago, suddenly it's just blank. It's this total system meltdown that can just completely undo months of practice in a few terrifying seconds.
For years, the advice has always been about managing your psychology, right? Using mental tricks, tackling your emotions. But what if the real key is somewhere else entirely? What if we've been so focused on fixing the software, we never stopped to check if the problem was actually in the hardware? Well, this exact idea came from a brilliant Hungarian violinist and teacher named Kató Havas. She basically dedicated her life to figuring out this stage fright puzzle, and her diagnosis, well, it completely turned conventional wisdom upside down.
And you can see the difference right here. It's night and day. While everybody else was focused on what's happening in the mind, Havas said, hold on. For musicians, especially violinists, she believed the issue wasn't a fear of the audience or of messing up. No, it was a direct result of a physical struggle, a deep lack of confidence in how your body relates to the instrument itself.
And here it is, straight from the source. She saw so many performers literally fighting their own bodies, sore backs, tense hands, stiff arms, and she had this incredible insight. That physical fight was the source of the mental anxiety, not the other way around. The fear wasn't about hitting a wrong note. It was the body's fear that it couldn't play freely at all.
So if the problem is physical, the solution has to be physical too. It's a simple idea but so powerful. And it led her to develop her famous new approach, a method designed to get rid of that physical tension and build a whole new foundation of effortless control.
And at the very heart of her method is this idea of physical confidence. Now, this isn't just about thinking, yeah, I can play the notes. It's so much deeper. It's about getting to a place where the instrument feels like a part of you, like a natural extension of your own body, so the music can just flow. It's about finding total freedom.
She broke this down into 3 core principles. First, balance over force. Stop trying to muscle your way through it. Use natural, coordinated movements instead. Second, inside-out energy. The music, the impulse to play. It doesn't start in your fingers. It starts in your core and flows outward. And third, and this is a huge one, hear it, sing it, play it. The music has to be alive inside you, as a song, before you ever try to play it on the instrument.
And listen, this wasn't some fringe theory. Her work got a massive endorsement from Yudi Munin, literally one of the greatest violinists of all time. He called her approach invaluable, which just tells you how revolutionary her ideas really were.
Okay, so that's all the big picture stuff, but how did Havas actually bring these ideas to life? What does her new approach look like when you're in the practice room day in and day out?
And her work is still incredibly relevant. You've got modern research, like this assessment by Yusuf Dursun, which takes a deep dive into Havas's perspective specifically on stage fright in violinists. It really helps ground our understanding of how her practical exercises can be applied by performers today.
A practice session with Havas was super structured. You'd start with exercises designed to make the violin and bow feel completely weightless. Then you'd move into foundational scale work, using specific studies to build technique without building tension. She also insisted on daily work with really complex music, like Bach's solo pieces, to build true musical independence. And always, always that core rule was reinforced. You sing it before you play it. See, the end game for all this practice wasn't just about hitting all the right notes. The ultimate goal was to completely change the musician's relationship with their instrument. It stops being this thing you have to fight and control, and it becomes a part of you, a natural channel for the music that's already inside.
And that right there brings us to the real purpose of her work. Because for Kató Havas, it was never just about getting rid of fear. It was about what becomes possible once that fear is finally gone.
This is the final, brilliant twist. Beating stage fright isn't the finish line. It's the starting pistol. It's the moment you stop worrying about the mechanics and can start focusing on the magic, on communicating with an audience. It's the moment you can finally give the music away without anything getting in your way.
So this is the big question Havas leaves us with, and it's not just for violinists. It's for any of us. Think about any skill you have. What could you create if you were no longer fighting the very tools you used to create it? What becomes possible when that fear of the tool is finally, truly replaced by the absolute freedom of expression?